Hello, friends. Earlier, we talked about the external postmortem appearance in case of death due to strangulation. Today, we are continuing further in strangulation. It's about the internal postmortem appearance. To examine the neck internally, the V shaped incision is put on the neck. Internally, when we examine the neck, we find the injuries to deeper tissues of the neck. These injuries are very marked. Injuries in case of strangulation is more violent, it is more extensive, because in strangulation mostly it is homicidal in nature. So the accused person uses more force on the victim's neck than required one. So injuries to deeper tissues are more common, they are more marked. Severe congestion and ecchymosis and hemorrhage into the tissues of and around the area compressed. Whatever area of the neck is compressed, the tissues of that area and tissues nearby to that area will have congestion, ecchymosis, and hemorrhage. The neck muscles, laryngeal cartilages, tracheal rings, and carotid arteries are lacerated. Hyoid bone is rarely injured because hyoid bone is above the level of constriction. Constriction is much below that bone. So hyoid bone is not usually injured. Hyoid bone is easily injured in the hanging, but here in strangulation it is rarely injured. Fracture of thyroid lamina and of cricoid cartilage are less common. Trachea is rarely broken. Bruise of the root of the tongue and floor of the mouth. Hemorrhage under the mucosa of larynx. Internal structures like larynx, trachea, and bronchi are congested. They contain frothy, blood-stained mucus. Subcapsular and interstitial thyroid hemorrhages are common. Lungs are congested. Lungs show ecchymosis and larger subpleural hemorrhages. Silvery looking spots under the pleural surface due to rupture of air cells which disappear on pricking. This is a specific feature of strangulation. Pulmonary edema. Venous congestion in parenchymatous organs. This is very much marked internal finding. Parenchymatous organs are brain, lungs, liver, and kidneys. Ecchymosis on the heart and kidneys of the young persons. Brain congested, showing petechial hemorrhage. When a stick or boot is used to compress the neck, extreme injury to the internal cervical vasculature is common. Like when the karate blow is given to the neck. When stick or boot is used for compression of the neck, then internal injury to the cervical vasculature is very extensive. It is extreme injury. So these were the internal postmortem findings. Now we come to the specific signs of the strangulation which you find only in case of strangulation. These signs are local distribution of cyanosis in the head and neck. Cyanosis around the head and neck in the local areas, that is very characteristic of strangulation. Ligature mark about the midline or below the thyroid cartilage. Like we talked in the hanging, ligature mark is seen above the level of thyroid cartilage. So from the level of ligature mark you can know whether the death is from hanging or strangulation. You may see the bruise or ecchymosis about the ligature mark on the neck. Now we come to circumstances of death from strangulation. Whether strangulation is suicidal, homicidal, or accidental. First we see the suicide. Suicide with strangulation is rare. Generally, the person who wants to commit suicide cannot strangle his own neck. It is practically very difficult. So, suicide with strangulation is rare. Signs of violence or the marks of struggle are absent. These struggle marks are seen in case of homicide. Here, even though it is rare, if person commits suicide by strangulation, you will not find the struggle marks on the body. If suicide is committed, the knot is usually in the front. Next possibility is homicide. Homicide with strangulation is very very common, and here the assailant is strangling the neck of the victim, so assailant uses more force than required one to make the death of the victim sure. That's why the injuries to the neck are very very extensive. It may be associated with sexual assault in women. Sexual assault, like very common, is rape. After committing rape of the woman, the victim is killed by strangulation. So homicide with strangulation. Infanticide by strangulation. We discussed in the chapter of the infanticide, unnatural cause of death. Sometimes to kill the infant, umbilical cord is used as ligature, right? So this is to give the impression that it was accidental twisting of the umbilical cord around the fetal neck. It was not done purposefully, it is not the murder. So to give the murder the look of the accidental death of the infant, umbilical cord is used. But if you have remembered, we have discussed earlier also, on the surface of the umbilical cord there is Wharton's jelly. So if it is homicide, infanticide, then due to the handling of the umbilical cord, the arrangement of Wharton's jelly gets disturbed, right? But when there is accidental twisting of the fetal neck, in the intrauterine life this happens. Accidentally the umbilical cord gets twisted, and when the loop of the umbilical cord gets tight, the fetal neck strangles. But in that case, the arrangement of Wharton's jelly on the surface of the umbilical cord is not disturbed. So by examining the arrangement of the Wharton's jelly on the umbilical cord surface, you can know whether it is infanticide or accidental death of the infant, right? Then the signs of the struggle are present. Signs of the struggle are to protect oneself. These signs of struggle you will find only when the victim is healthy and the victim is conscious. Suppose if the victim is physically weak, not able to oppose the assailant, so in that case, even though the victim is conscious, victim will not be able to oppose the act, so the signs of struggle will be absent. Sometimes victim is unconscious, so unconscious victim again cannot resist the act, so you will find signs of struggle absent. So it is not that whenever there is homicide by strangulation, always you will find the signs of the struggle. These signs of the struggle are not seen when victim is unconscious or victim is physically very very weak. They are seen only when victim is healthy and fully conscious, right? And the last is accidental. Accidental strangulation is very rare. It is seen in the newborns. We just discussed about the accidental twisting of the umbilical cord around the fetal neck, which causes accidental strangulation. So that is seen in the newborns, right? Now we discuss the common methods of homicidal strangulation. These you will find in the different parts of the country. Up till now we discussed ligature strangulation, and also now you know the one of the types of strangulation is throttling, where the manual strangulation is done. But besides this, there are some other methods of strangulation also, like ligature strangulation. Ligature is used to strangle the neck of the person. Next is throttling, that is manual strangulation. Strangulation is done by the human hands. Then Bansdola. Bansdola is mainly prevailing in the northern India. In this method, one strong stick is placed across the back of the neck and another stick is placed across the front of the neck of the victim. Both the ends of the stick are tied with the rope, and then the neck of the victim is squeezed, right? The end of the sticks are tied to squeeze the neck of the victim, and this is how the pressure is applied to the neck of the victim and the victim dies. That is Bansdola. Next is garroting. Sometimes these you might have seen in the movies. The victim is attacked from behind. Victim is unaware about the attack. Victim is attacked from behind without any warning, and generally ligature is thrown. Loop of ligature is thrown around the victim's neck and the strangling is done, right? So from the behind, the tightening of the neck is done by throwing the ligation. That is called garroting. And one more is mugging. These again you might have seen in the movies. જ્યારે વિલન અને હીરો અથવા તો ફાઇટિંગ થતી હોય, બરાબર, તો એક જણ પોતાના એલ્બોના બેન્ડમાં બીજાનું માથું દબાવી દે, ના ગળું દબાવે. That is called mugging. In the bands of the elbows, the neck of the victim is held, and so tightening of the neck is done by bend of the elbow. That is the mugging. So these are different methods of common methods of the homicidal strangulation. This we talked about strangulation. We'll discuss something more in the next session. I hope you all have enjoyed the session. Thank you.